Does, and we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the inner harbor of Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Taken in at the 3. And he's going to be brought down inside the 5 at the 3.
Well, not exactly to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
And some room to work. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. 64 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field.
Don't get nervous. Under 10, under 10, 10.
Now it's Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense.
Even. 4 down. Even. Watch the safety creep.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Jackson now. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And in for the Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. First carry for Najee Harris. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
From the 30 on 2nd down, Carr going for the deep ball. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big connection on that one, 38 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a give, running left is Harris. An agile move and a nice gain, then dropped at the 25-yard line. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Throw left side going to be taken in by Harris. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
Second down and goal. Carr. He's got Claypool for a Steeler touchdown. Chase Claypool hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Point after, right down the middle. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Escaping the pressure right. Open man is Duvernay. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big connection on that one. 37 yards. Now left side on the swing pass. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2.
Don't get nervous. Mike 55, Mike 55.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
Mike 55, right there in the middle, 55. Whoa.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after 1. And Boswell's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the time, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Being chased out left. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play that time for Pittsburgh.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Carr. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Space to run past the 20. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line.
Oh, that's a big let off there on 3rd down because you've got to account for the running back coming out of the backfield. They didn't, and they got burned, not just for a 1st down, but for big yardage as well.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Najee Harris hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
Taken at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
On 2nd and 7, Carr. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll try the left side. It's Harris. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Looking left side, and it's complete. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
You got three down. Switch it.
They'll try the left side. It's Harris, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers have once again taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle, and that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw here taken in by Boykin. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Jackson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now Jackson on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach. And let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. Hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Eluding and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime. But the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
Yeah, Coach, certainly no shortage of action in those first 2 quarters. Definitely got to work on my touchdown calls, so we'll see how much voice I have left for the second half here.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On play action, now Carr. Open man, completes it to Claypool. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
49, check 49, check 49.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. On the give, this is Harris, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Carr. He's going to go up top for the end zone. He's got Claypool for a Steeler touchdown.
Every time, fellas. I'm bringing it.
3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From the 6.
And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially. but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
2nd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. On 3rd and 1, Jackson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Tight right. 3 down. Hey, check. Go ahead. Rush in.
And Jackson throwing once more. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Jackson. Flush to his right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. It's a big play there for Baltimore.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like two excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
Here we go again. Check.
Return. Go.
Jackson on 1st down. And this is incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Report.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Go.
Watch tight end. 4 down.
Now Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Devin Duvernay with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score. So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2.
Check 3.
Hey.
Check 5. Watching you 5.
Return.
Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
42 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
We got 3. On 42. He's coming up there. Hey, 734. Switch. Mike 4.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
They'll run again with Harris. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
1 down. 185. Football. Let's go. 618. Yeah. He don't want none.
Carr. Here's a diving catch right side.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better.
They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. Shit.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Now, 280. Later 2. Mike 4. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. 637. Mike 4. Express.
Hey, watch the ball.
On first down, Carr finding Harris over the middle. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
93. Mike 4. Let's go, D. That's it.
Carr now to throw.
It's going to be a long day.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And the Ravens are right back in this football game. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
After the interception, here's Jackson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Key 8, key 8. Tight to the right, boy. Tight to the right. Move. SOS.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain.
Right.
3 yards remain for 2nd down.
Get in the right room. Sponge. No.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 78 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. I really enjoy watching Lamar Jackson run those RPOs, Charles, but I'll tell you what, it's tough calling play-by-play because you don't know whether he handed it off or kept it.
Makes you focus, doesn't he? You've got to try and stay with it, and even when we do, we often can get it wrong because our eyes naturally go to him.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Ravens have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Now a big play here as the Ravens are going to go for the two-point conversion.
Mike, 55. Check 55, Mike.
Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
55, Mike.
Hey, what's delayed? Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat.
They'll try and throw for it. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for two. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Here's Carr. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight one-point game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. On 1st down, Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Throwing his Carr. And he's got his target, Harris. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Check 15. Check 15.
They hand this off to Harris, and he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now here's another carry for Harris. And some space here. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now on 17 carries. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Switch.
They'll run on 1st down. Harris. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. They'll try the right side with Harris. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And it is good.